Rahman Rahim, Salatu wassalamu ala Rasulillah. I would like to speak in regards to some of the questions that I'm getting in regards to Shawwal fasting. First and foremost, what is the ruling of the Shawwal fasting? It is not fard, it is not wajib, therefore it is something sunnah, mustahabba, something that the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam emphasized upon us to do in order for our ranks to be raised in the eyes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We shouldn't take it as something wajib, for verily it is something great in reward. Therefore, it is something sunnah. Number two is, the question that I'm getting is, what is the virtue of fasting in the month of Shawwal? The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, Man sama Ramadana thumma taba'ahu sitta min Shawwal. The Prophet ﷺ said, whoever has fasted the month of Ramadan and then he follows it with 6 voluntary fasts in the month of Shawwal, it is as if he has fasted a lifetime or he has fasted for a whole year. So this is, subhanAllah, the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the mercy of Islam, that we are not only to be focused on the fard, whereas the sunnah action may make our ranks being raised in the eyes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Therefore, the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, this siyam, the 6 fasting that you do in the month of Shawwal, it is as if you have fasted the whole year. Ibn Khuzaymah, rahimahullah, he said, we know we just fasted the 30 days in Ramadan, and every day in the eyes of Allah, عشر أمثالها, it is multiplied to 10. So 30 days in the month of Ramadan equivalent to 300, and the 6 days in Shawwal equivalent to 60. It makes it a year of fasting. So the reason why we fast as well for the month of Shawwal is that it even compensates for the shortcomings of what you had in the month of Ramadan. And this is the second question. And the third question, when can we start fasting the month of Shawwal? We can start fasting the month or the siyam of Shawwal from the second day of Shawwal, which means we celebrate Eid and the next day we start fasting. Why? Some people believe that the Eid al-Fitr go for 3 days. No, the Eid al-Fitr is only the first of Shawwal. Second, third, fourth, they are the normal days. You can start fasting straight after the Eid day. Second of Shawwal, you can start your Shawwal fasting. This is something permissible. And the question is, do I have to do it consecutive? Which means if I start on the second, do I have to do it second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh of Shawwal? Or can I just do it in separate days? The decision is yours. If you want to do it consecutive, khair, do it consecutive. And it is permissible to do it on a separate days. If you want to do it today and then tomorrow you rest and then you do it the very next day, it is fine. If you want to do it Monday, Thursday, Monday, Thursday, Monday, Thursdays, 6 is gone, you can do it in this way as well. فَاتَّقُوا اللَّهَ مَا اسْتَطَعْتُمْ. Do things as much as you can and what are easy upon you, بِإِذْنِ اللَّهِ تَعَالَى. Another question that we get as well is in regards to, when do we start the fasting of Shawwal? Can I do it before I have replaced some of the siyam that I need to replace in Ramadan? The question that we're getting is, I may have some replacement of fasting to do for the Ramadan. What do I do? Do I start Shawwal and then later I replace the Ramadan fast, or do I start with the replacement first? We got to understand that the fast of Ramadan is fard, is wajib, obligatory, something that will be asked by Allah Azza wa Jal. Therefore, the fard take precedence over something sunnah. So what we do is, we make sure that we have actually fasted all of Ramadan. And then we start the sunnah action. So the pillars of Islam, including the fasting of Ramadan, is something that is obligatory. Therefore, if we do not do it, it is as if that we haven't completed one of the obligation that Allah Azza wa Jalla has asked us to do. This takes precedence over something sunnah. Therefore, what we need to do is to replace whatever we have missed from Ramadan, and then we start the Shawwal. Because the Prophet ﷺ said in the hadith, Man sama Ramadan thumma atba'ahu. Whoever has fasted the month of Ramadan and then he follows it with 6 Shawwal fast, which means that whoever has completed Ramadan. Therefore, if you have 5 days that you need to replace in Ramadan, you haven't completed Ramadan yet, according to what the majority says. Therefore, you had an excuse that you did not fast in Ramadan. What you have to do is you replace those fasts in Shawwal. Once you are done, and then you start the Shawwal fasting, even though you have entered the following month, which is Dhul Qa'dah. Let's say you had 6 or 7 fasts to be replaced in Ramadan. So in Shawwal, you replace this fast, and then you start the Shawwal. Even though Shawwal is over, you can carry on in the month of Dhul Qa'dah, inshallah, and this is the correct opinion. We have minority that says you can actually fast the Shawwal and then you can fast the replacement of Ramadan, and this is the minority, but the most correct one is that you finish what Allah has asked you to do first, and then you start the Sunnah action. So I hope that what I've just spoken about had actually clarified the misconception or doubts in regards to Shawwal. Inshallah, we're going to come up with some new or more clips, inshallah. Until then, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.